What we should talk about now is how to put our saddle pad and our saddle on our horse. When we place this pad upon the horse's back, first thing we want to do is make sure that it's clean. I'm going to look at the underside, make sure that there's not any shavings or matted dirt, hair, or anything like that. There's a little bit of hair on here, but not anything that's going to affect how it fits the horse. When I sit the pad on the horse's back, I'm going to sit it quite a bit further forward than where it's actually going to be once the saddle's on there. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to use my pad to kind of help lay that horse's hair down. This is a felt pad that's 7/8 inch thick, and it's going to provide all the protection that this horse needs for the saddle. But we want to make sure that the hair is laying down flat, especially when the horse has a little bit longer of a winter coat on its back. And so we'll kind of take the pad, just set it forward and slide it back 2 or 3 times. And then I'll reach up underneath the gullet there of the pad and pull all that hair out best I can with my hand. When I pick my saddle up and go to set it on the horse's back, I'm going to have my left thumb right there on that concho, and my right hand's going to be back here on the cantle. And I'm going to twist, and I'm going to be as close as I can to my horse, and I'm going to twist my body, and if I need to use my right leg to kind of help me set that up there, I will. And notice I just set that up there, and nothing slung up on the other side and hit the horse or anything like that. I've got my pad placed a little further forward, and so once I've got it up there, I can slide everything back just a little bit. I'll pull this center part of my pad up in the gullet of the saddle so that it is not pinching the horse right there on the withers. I've got my cinch here, or my cinch strap here. I'll take my stirrup and go up over the saddle horn so that my stirrup is out of the way. I'm going to look down here at the back of my pad. I'm going to make sure that my pad is centered with my saddle. There's a groove in that pad and a groove in that saddle, and they should line up fairly closely. Then I'll come around here and I'll undo my cinch from the keeper. Got a cinch keeper on this side that just keeps my cinch up out of the way. This particular saddle has some back flank billets on it, but it does not have a flank cinch, just has a front cinch. I can adjust my cinch up or down using this half-breed offside strap. If I need to let it down, I can do so. If I want to take it back up, I just unbuckle it and slide it up. I want to make sure though that everything's nice and level and flat underneath there. I also want to make sure that I tuck the tail of my offside let-it-go through the little keeper on that cinch, and the center of that cinch buckle, that D-ring buckle, is in the center of that cinch strap. I'll come back around. When I go to cinch up the horse, I've got my cinch strap or my let-it-go put up through the D-ring on the saddle so that all I should have to do is pull the tail there and it comes out. I'll reach underneath and I'll catch that with my hand and I'll thread it through the D-ring on our cinch one time. I'll go back up through the D-ring on my saddle and back through the D-ring on my cinch. I'm going to slide that pad and saddle back just a little bit more. And when I'm just saddling my horse up, I don't need to tighten it very tight. I just need it snug enough that it's going to keep the saddle in place. You'll notice that everything lays flat. The buckle there is in the center of the latigo strap. It's not off to one side or the other. It's right there in the center. And when we get ready to get on our horse, all we've got to do is tighten that up a notch or two. The tail of our latigo will go up through this little keeper and be out of our way. And if it hangs down, it's not going to bother that horse at all. That horse is used to that. So now we have our saddle placed on our horse's back correctly. When we go to take our saddle off, it's everything in the opposite order. Put our stirrup back up over our saddle horn. We'll take our latigo out of our keeper. We'll grab the tail of the latigo and pull up. And that's going to free the buckle. And we can slide our fingers in there and just pull that out towards us. Then I'll take it, fold it over in half, and go back through that D-ring, and it's ready for the next time that we use it. All we've got to do to undo it is pull the tail. I'll take my stirrup down. I'll go around here, and I'll take my cinch and just kind of fold it over like that and go back up to my keeper. Now we're ready to take our saddle off of the horse's back. When we go to take the saddle off the horse's back, we're going to grab underneath the front of the pad and underneath the back of the pad and just slide everything off. And we can catch our pad, hang it up here on our rack. A wet pad always goes on the rack to dry rather than in the tack room. If it goes in the tack room when it's wet and stinky, it'll stink up the tack room. So that's why we have these drying racks outside the door. Now I can carry my saddle in here and put it back on the rack. Just set my saddle on the rack like so.